Hello my good friends, this is Chaos Angel here, also known as Lord of Omnia, and I'm back at it again with another video discussion with you guys. And good God, golly goodness, after all of the excitement, oh man, I still haven't wind down in any way, shape, or form. Oh man. For the past couple of days, it has been a seriously wild ride since the FanFest last week on Friday, and I got to really tell you that I am still shooketh in so many ways of just hype and anticipation, even flipping sadness, but I'm not really going to be getting into that in this video. For right now, we are going to be talking about my thoughts about everything that has transpired during the first day of the FanFest, more specifically, the keynote. Now, one thing that I would definitely like to talk about when it came to it is that I very much want to apologize for those who were part of the live stream on that day. Giving a little bit of the story when it came to it, I literally spent the majority of the day on that Friday making preparations for it on Streamlab OBS. Now normally I would be using regular OBS in order to do my streams, but I really wanted to drive home exactly like how much I wanted this to be a very smooth and successfully professional freaking live stream in terms of its quality. So it's like I was literally making so many things ahead of time as far as the overlays and all this other nonsense and yada 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 in order to make it a little bit more presentable, make it just a tad bit more presentable, you know what I mean? But the thing about it is that one thing that I didn't really think to look back on was the fact that the graphical settings. The panel, the actual display panel, was not set on my program for the Streamlabs OBS in comparison to the regular OBS. So during the time when I actually started the stream, the very screen that would show pretty much the window or pretty much what's going on my screen wouldn't come up, and that just made it problematic for me because I literally had to go out of my way to end the stream early in order for me to bring it back up again in order to get like things back and running in time for me to like get this whole entire live stream to go the way I wanted. So I apologize for how that failed at the start, but it worked out in the end, thankfully, and I was able to get the reaction, even though it wasn't exactly as like I had hoped, but it still came out good in the end. So I'm definitely fine with that, and I'm definitely happy that it came out as good as it could. And with that, in terms of like the results from the reaction videos that were made, it was quite outstanding. I very much would like to say I very much appreciate all of you guys who enjoy my content, enjoy the enthusiasm, enjoy the hype that is for Final Fantasy XIV, and just overall coming to just join in on the hype along with me. It is really one of the things that keep me not exactly interested, but keep me going in terms of literally doing this as a hobby. So with that in mind, I just want to thank you guys again. I very much appreciate all of your support and all that good jazz, and you just have no idea. It just makes it so much fun in order for me to actually do this as a hobby and then taking it just a tad bit serious, if you know what I mean. But anyway guys, we gotta go ahead and get into the actual nitty-gritty of this video and actually talk about the keynote for the FanFest. But before I can actually get into it, I have to go ahead and share a little bit of some news on some things that I have planned for you guys in future videos and so on and so forth for the coming months until Endwalker finally releases. Whereas I have a little bit of a live stream that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and I feel like this is the best time for me to do it, wherein I will be doing a live stream of a new Game Plus for Final Fantasy XIV from ARR all the way to Shadowbringers. I will be making a note of exactly when that will be taking place. Just keep an eye out for it. It will be done on Twitch. And as far as other stuff that I have in mind, like for instance, flipping more video discussions on things like the quality of life features for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker and various other stuff that I have in mind, like for instance the job action system changes and so on and so forth. We got a lot going on, so I really hope that you're hyped for what's to come. But other than that, it's time for us to go ahead and get into the actual nitty-gritty of the nitty-gritty and talk about the actual FanFest in essence. Let's go ahead and get into that keynote, shall we? Now, good God, golly goodness, this keynote was just such a ridiculous ride of epic proportions that I just could not even fathom what in the world would make me any hyper at this point in time. That is a lie, though. I will have to say that there is something that will most certainly make me even more hype, and that is, of course, the media tour, and then not to mention the game actually releasing. But we're not talking about that right now. For now, this right here is just on a scale that I just cannot explain to you in any way, shape, or form. And it starts with the trailer. The trailer was absolutely phenomenal, astonishingly mind-blowing, for the love of all that is holy. For those who saw my reaction, I'm pretty sure that you know I had so much to say, and at the same time, so little, due to the amount of yelling that I was doing throughout the reaction. So yeah, but other than that, let's just take this one step at a time, shall we? First, let's talk about the music. The freaking music left me absolutely speechless in so many freaking ways. But at the same time, it's just like, I say speechless, but really, oh man, it was crazy. So many parts of the song just scream. Endwalker is essentially the literal culmination of everything for the last 10 years of this arc with Heidelin and Zodiark. And Soken and the team nailed the ever-living shit out of this. Like, who in their right mind thought the theme was going to add practically every main theme from each respective expansion within this one masterfully beautiful track? Like, no, seriously, literally. Going in a sort of order with flippin' Heavensward playing in the background. What fuck motherfucking Estidian riding on another one of the first brood. And then straight up star diving on them suckers. Like, it was just absolutely marvelous. And then not to mention we literally are seeing Vitra, one of the freaking first brood, the youngest of the first brood, in fact, in the flesh, making this scene doubly amazing. I was just, oh my god. And then not to mention what makes it even more amazing is the fact that in this trailer, Soken was capable of making Storm of Blood actually sound good and even better by making it have fucking metal in it. And it was glorious. Never did I think that I would actually fall in love with this part of the song, but lo and behold, Soken just literally caught me for a loop. Like, flat out caught me for a loop. This man just literally breaks barriers. He literally breaks limits. But really what caught me even more of an absolute loop than pretty much everything prior was old Charlene's scene with those divine flippin' vocals. Like, no joke, I'm serious, guys. I literally spammed this part numerous times with how such a beautiful, such a goddess, like, oh my god, with how such a goddess of a voice Amanda Aiken has when she sings here. And I really gotta be honest here, to my delight, the song is literally a motif for many other tracks in Endwalker, mainly made for like the new hub of Charlian and as well as Radazan. So it's like knowing this, that pretty much means that we might actually get another Tomorrow from Amanda with that oh so angelic voice. And I'm just so freaking excited for that. I really am. And I swear, just the same as Tomorrow, this one is probably just gonna make me feel freaking emotions. It already is. Like I've already had so many moments. Now, I kind of skipped a little bit, but no worries. Before we actually get into Old Charlian, they played a bit of Torn from the Heavens to transition from the Storm of Blood to Charlian. And good lord, it was freaking breathtaking. That new rendition of Torn from the Heavens was just magnifique. And to make things even more apparent when it comes to it is the fact that I said that there was a sort of order here. I don't know whether or not if you guys noticed, but with each respective actual individual, like with Estinian, with the Heavensward theme, and then we freaking cut to literally two individuals who were mostly known from Stormblood, freaking Xenos, and then, well, Asahi, who is literally the body hosted by Fandaniel, but still, like, let's be real here. The two individuals that we see here is literally Asahi and Xenos. They came from Stormblood, so Stormblood being played at that part is just it fits so well. And then of course the very actual genre being played with the fucking metal just makes it even more apparent because of just how flippin' metal Xenos is in many ways. But we're not about to get too into that aspect. I can't get over Storm of Blood and this new rendition that they made. It's so fucking hype. It's literally just so fucking hype. But good God, golly goodness. Just as they used Torn from the Heavens to transition from Stormblood to Charlia, which was, again, flippin' breathtaking, something that was even more breathtaking was freaking seeing Graha in the flesh. Full CG. Along with freaking Ishtola strutting down them steps like an absolute queen. Huh? Literally being that boss bitch. Literally being the boss bitch she is. Talking smack down the council members within the Charlian Council. It was just magnificent. But cutting back to the Graha scene, we actually hear a little bit of something that there is still more that the star has to show for us. And that makes you think a little bit. He might be talking about something that may actually happen after we are done with 6.0 and we start looking at some newer things that we will be experiencing on a fresh new journey. We can only wait and see. But continuing on, last but not least, we got the only scene that we have been waiting for months with fucking Xenos and his motherfucking beast of a flippin' gun scythe, just looking all out badass as usual. I just couldn't get enough of how they literally made this trailer with the final moments showing all of the other characters one final time, ending with Xenos as the music continues to be an absolute flippin' banger with this chorus. Literally saying forge ahead. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm pretty sure that we're in agreement here. Like, the forge ahead, that sounds like a pretty badass, like, song title. I can definitely see that being the official song title for this song. But other than that, we transition with the warrior light getting ambushed by the first beast. But you already know, we leveled up now. We don't need any light party to take them out no more. Oh no, they just cannon fodder now. And he proves it with just one slice, looking like a straight up badass as he flaps his cape around to turn towards the screen. I will never get tired of that shit. Everything, literally everything about this trailer was just so fucking hype. I will never get tired of it. Just the same with Shadowbringers. And it's like, I just can't help but be amazed of how they literally outdone themselves again. Like, making another expansion opening more hype than the last. Seriously? Like, at this point, I'm not even gonna freaking doubt that they're gonna be able to outdo this one in 7.0. Like, I just really can't. At this point, I will never not be hyped with what they do next. They literally just won't crack. It's so apparent because of just how much effort they put with each iteration down to the very quality of the stuff that they do. Even the animations. Guys, the actual quality and fidelity of this trailer was just so damn high. It was higher than fucking Shadowbringers. Like, I cannot be the only one who saw just how high def these characters look. Like, they look so damn good. I just cannot wait for this opening. Like, for a full opening without the sound effects. Please, for the love of all that is holy, let us have the freaking full-on trailer without the sound effects. And please, for the love of all that is holy, can we please get them lyrics? I need them lyrics. I need it now. I need it so much. Like, I seriously can't help but shake the feeling that this song, especially the old Charlene part, is going to move me to tears like freaking Shadowbringers and Answers when it comes to it. I won't put it past me, as it literally didn't take long for it to happen already. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into the very thing that I've been wanting to talk about more than anything. Now, guys, it doesn't matter exactly how many times I talk about this. I will never get tired of talking about this one thing. Because the years of me waiting and talking about it, the build-up, the anticipation, the wanting. For so long, I have been waiting for this moment. And the moment has finally come. Reaper making it as a new Melee job officially freaking broke me to no end. Like, you just have no idea how much I've wanted this job for Final Fantasy XIV since Dark Knight became a thing. My favorite fantasy weapon of all time, and it is finally here. And good Lord, Heavenly Father, it is everything I've ever wanted and more. Like, you just have no idea. Like, why do you think I'm called Chaos Angel? It's because of this shit! Every single aspect of what we saw in this trailer ticked all of the boxes. But what gets me even more, what gets me the most, is that they didn't even stop there. Oh no. Oh no. They didn't stop there. No. They went even further beyond what I wanted. They took the job even further into the void. The fact that the character literally pulls a fucking Ranjit and merges with the freaking void avatar broke me mentally and physically. I kid you not. Never did I think that this job would actually pull a freaking Gugamons in any shape or form. Like, this is literally flipping Ranjit down to the freaking changing of your whole entire character. Like, you're wearing different clothes. I literally have nothing that I can even say at this point about this shit. And then not to mention, oh good God. Not only does the form fucking look amazing, the fucking pose, the attacks, the motherfucking aura! Like this is what I fucking wanted for Dark Knight! And now you killed Dark Knight for me even further because of this! But I still love you, Dark Knight, but it's just I just can't even right now, I swear. Oh my God. This job is just, it's perfect. It's more than perfect. It's just absolutely fucking pristine on how they made this job. And I can't, guys. I just cannot wait to see what they have in store for me for this job. I really can't. Like, they literally got this job down to a T, all the way down to the flippin' cyan blue effects, capturing the soul-like color that I wanted. It's just so damn beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god, but now it's just like, oh my god, I gotta calm myself down here. Good lord. And then I gotta talk about this deeper. We gotta talk about the background of this job. Like, we got to get into the nitty-gritty of like what in the world the story is going to be like for this job. Like, I am just so curious. Like, what is it gonna be behind like the avatar? How in the world are we gonna meet it? What in the world is gonna happen? I am actually flipping afraid because it's just like, I want the story for this job to be so freaking crisp and so freaking hype. But the problem is that we most likely won't even get that many quests. With it starting at level 70, that just means that we're most likely only gonna get probably 2 quests for this job. If not that, only a couple of quests. Not really all that much to really deep dive into the origin and like the lore aspect of this job. The only thing that comes to mind is like the fact that since it apparently comes from the void, i.e. World of Darkness, what if this could actually be us from the 13th shard that turned into a void sense? In all honesty, I wouldn't put it past them if they actually went about it that way. I'd honestly like to see something like that, but for now, all we can really do is just wait and see. But it's like, I want to see it now. I just want to see it now. Another thing that I really just cannot wait to see is the freaking battle ready emote for the job. Like, guys, I just hope that we can actually see something like, I don't know. What I really want is like the avatar to be something that's more interactable. Just like what we saw in the actual trailer. Like, just imagine the avatar literally just appearing and you are just like staring at her. It's doing the hug around you or something of that nature. That could be like the idle pose, or we can have like some kind of battle ready pose with it. I really would like to see that. That would just be so damn amazing to see. Having freaking Ezekiel look like an absolute badass with his avatar flipping behind it. I need it in my life. Please. Another thing that I flippin' need in my life is a freaking cover of the damn theme that's being played in the trailer. I can only imagine that is most likely the world battle theme for Endwalker. And I'm gonna be honest here, guys. It sounds very appropriate, and at the same time, it is actually the most appealing battle theme that I have heard in a long while since Heaven's Word. I am sorry. But Stormblood and Shadowbringers, their themes just didn't did it for me. It just didn't jive with me as much as I would like it to be. So this is very much a nice change of pace. And speaking of pacing, I believe that's about everything I'd want to say about the job as far as appearance-wise and my overall feelings of it. As far as the skills are concerned, I'll go in depth on that in a separate video when I talk about like all of the changes I'd like to see for all the jobs when the job battle system changes comes later this year. So just wait patiently on that. I'll talk more on the skills that were shown and what I'd like to see further from there. For now, let's talk about the rest of the keynote. Everything else was pretty worthwhile. Let's just say that for now. We actually got a good amount of information that I was literally not expecting, and surprises that I most certainly wasn't expecting whatsoever. But again, let's just take this one step at a time. First off, let's talk about something that I made before the start of the keynote. During the live stream, I decided upon myself to play a little game for the keynote and made a bingo card of what events will take place during it. I'll reveal the end results near the end of everything, but for now, Old Charlian. Let's just start with this for now. Old Charlian being the new player hub for Endwalker. Oh man. Oh Lord. Good God, Heavenly Father, I have been waiting for this day. Not only are we finally going to Fafnir, guys, but also flipping Charlia too. You have absolutely no idea how floored I was when I flippin' saw this flippin' environment, this place, this city, this town, this gorgeous looking flippin' place. I mean, I knew we were going to be going, like we were literally gearing to go to these places at some point. Especially considering the final days, like it is literally a threat to the very star. So of course we were going to be going around the world. It just makes so much sense. Doesn't mean I'm still not going to be speechless or excited about the fact that we're finally going there. Like seriously, this is just so flippin' hype. I literally been waiting for this moment and it's finally flippin' coming. One thing about it though is that this was actually expected to actually be a thing from the very beginning. It's just that it was too much, and it was pretty much not going to be possible to actually make it into the final game. Literally, when it came to the very beginning, it was actually before Realm Reborn that Charlian was actually supposed to be a place that we were going to be going to, and that actually threw me for a loop. But other than that, one thing that we got into was essentially a preview of the place, and it's as beautiful as the flippin' CG trailer, I swear. Absolutely breathtaking, along with the leitmotif of my favorite part of the trailer. Now, what wasn't exactly as breathtaking that we actually saw afterwards, or more so heard, was the area near Old Charlian, or probably under it, known as Labyrinthos. And I gotta say, it was quite an interesting display. I really gotta say. It was definitely an interesting track that was being played in the background, to say the least. Not really sure what I make of it, but I will still enjoy the scenery at least. Now, one thing that's going to be quite the scenery to take in is flippin' Razat Han. Like, good lord, guys. The color of this place is absolutely brimming with, like, colors everywhere. And it's like at the same time, good lord, I just don't know where to look. Like, every single thing is just so damn colorful. Jesus. I really have absolutely no words that I can really say to describe my thought process when looking at this map. Very Eastern India in a way, I must say. And to add, we also get a leitmotif of the Old Charlian part in here as well, but with a different take in terms of genre. And I really gotta say, I love it. I really love it. I love both of them, which is fairly rare, I must say. But moving along, we got to see other maps like Fafnir, Garlemald, etc. There was also one other map that we have absolutely no idea what it is. Most likely will have a lot to do with Garlemald. Maybe. Maybe not. Not really sure. But one thing that I was definitely not expecting to see in video form was the flippin' moon. I literally just did not expect them to actually go ahead and show us what is on the moon. And good lord, man. Immediately, we got freaking Final Fantasy IV references out the gate. Flippin' Mare Lamentorum straight up looks like Crystal Palace. Like, guys, there's no way they weren't gonna put it up there, but Jesus, it straight up literally looks like Crystal Palace. And good lord, the place is literally just bringing back old memories to me, I swear. The only thing that was missing at this point was another moon. And I mean the track specifically, not an actual moon. And I can only imagine that was what they were hiding, especially considering that the track that was being played in the video was actually a song that already exists. A piano version of Neath Dark Waters from Scions and Sinners. So it has to be a placeover for what may be a very big surprise waiting for us when we get there. But one thing that I really don't get when it comes to it is the fact that if they're playing this, why was it that they were playing a song that was a Final Fantasy IV reference during the dungeon part, which is what we'll be getting to soon. But before that, speaking of surprises, I can say there was most certainly no surprise here when it came to the Beast Tribe reveal being the Hummingways. Most certainly no surprises here, considering that they are the ones who live on the moon, no doubt. But that makes me wonder whether or not if there are going to be any other sort of individuals that we'll be meeting up there on the moon. A sort of lunar people of some kind, yes. But getting back to the Hummingways, or what we may call the Loperids, if only I actually had my own naming way minion. Or maybe we can get a mapping way minion. Or a living way one. Oh, what about a camping way one? Actually, you know what? No. What's better would be a jamming way one. Now that would be good. Play us some tunes while we're like out and about around the palace. Nice, yes. Anyway, joking aside, along with the Loperids, there was another thing that we most likely saw coming, and that was the Maga Sisters. I knew from the very beginning that they were going to be showing this trio, but I really gotta say, they're looking very colorful in their 14 iterations. What's interesting is the mask that they wear. They're really going all out with the cultural vibes from Razad Han, I must say. Which shouldn't really be surprised, considering that there is literally a dungeon that has them literally being brought up as like deities, I think. Other than that, I'm very interested on whether or not if these three are going to actually be the bosses of the dungeon, and whether if we will be fighting them individually or facing all three of them at once as the final boss. We'll just have to wait and see. Another thing that surprises me though is how we didn't get a reveal of the other trial, nor any reveal whatsoever of the four fiends, which was what I was actually expecting the most. But it's all good. That will likely come 6.1, maybe, given how they usually do that with their like trial arcs. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But other than that, next up on the list is actually the dungeon preview. And oh man, guys, when it came to hearing that 14 rendition of Tower of Zod, it literally gave me goosebumps. And it only makes me wonder whether or not the tower at Garlemald will be named probably Tower of Zod or maybe Tower of Babel. I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter to me, quite honestly. I've pretty much been calling the other towers Tower of Babel since they were revealed, because that's literally what they seem like to me at this point. And speaking of revealed, the new original Alliance raid finally got its title revealed, and ooh boy, I was not expecting this. And it's like at the same time, I didn't even know that this was something that I would actually really want a deep dive until now. But man, Myths of the Realm got me thinking, guys. Now, with how Alliance raids are normally made, with us having 3 raids in total and facing 4 bosses within each of them. That totals up to 12 bosses in total, guys. What else is there that's, oh, I don't know, 12? The very thing that we see as a hint in the photo. Guys, the very thought of not only learning, but also seeing and even fighting the fucking 12 has my freaking heart pumping like flippin' crazy with just how insane that is. Every single lore aspect coming from this raid is going to be flippin' phenomenal and flippin' suspenseful. I literally cannot wait to deep dive into this raid story, and it's literally making me excited. Like, I'm actually very happy that they're doing an original alliance raid for this expansion, because I'm gonna have to really say that we're probably gonna need to take a break from a good many collaborations for just a bit. Not saying that the Neath raid wasn't bad, not saying that at all. Just saying that it's probably best that we go about doing something original for the time being. Now, next off, another thing, your boy can't wait to get his first ever flippin' physical collector's edition for Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah! I was lucky enough to get my pre-order for the collector's in, and good God golly goodness, I am just so flippin' hype to see it in my hands. The figurine, the art, the bonus items, everything. And speaking of the bonus items, there was something that we have been seeing throughout the entire time of the keynotes during the area previews, and that is actually the new expansion mount for the paladin known as Aryan. It's really epic looking, I must say. Definitely taking inspiration from the past mount for the Dark Knight. Can definitely say that's an interesting hybrid of a good deal many things. But I'm gonna be real here. The one thing that took the majority of my interest and my attention was obviously the flippin' death scythe. Like, guys, the second I saw that, my mind was already in full flex glamour mode, thinking of all the glamour possibilities with this damn weapon. Good lord, I can't wait for this game just so I can freaking have this beautiful freaking scythe. But I gotta calm myself down. We are literally at the cusp. We're at the finish. This is literally leading us into the final thing that we had during the keynote. Other than a little bit of an expansion of a certain data center. But before that, the one last big surprise that they actually had saved for us in the end. This was a fucking doozy. Now, leading up to this surprise, I filled a good amount of my bingo card. Heck, I was even able to get one bingo card after the news of the Oceanic server announcement. But one thing that made me end up having 2 bingos by the end was something I did not expect. And that was the reveal of male Vieira's finally flippin' coming to the game. And even the confirmation of female Hrothgar, making it later on. Like, I shit you not. I could not believe what I was seeing. What I was hearing. I was absolutely shook. Never before did I think that they would actually make it happen. And yet here we are. All I could think of is, what fucking timeline are we even in right now? This is literally the timeline that we live in? And I still can't even flip and believe it. But as much as I can't believe it, I for one am happy for all of those who have wanted these genders to come to the game. It really just shows that BD3 really puts forth the effort in giving what the fans want and attentively listening on what the fans are saying. And I just flippin' love them all for it. They're literally the coolest flippin' dev team ever. And with the male Vieira making it into the game, I can't help but be puzzled when I actually see them. As far as lore is concerned, they really do look the part, I must say. It makes me wonder of what the female Rothgars will end up looking like. My actual hope is that they will end up looking fairly close to like the Final Fantasy X female Ronsos. However, with the face looking more a little bit like what the male Rothgars have. Beast-like and such, you know what I mean? It's just that the very stature of the character when they're like standing up is straight, unlike the males. It would be very nice if they were able to combine the Final Fantasy X female Ronsos with a beast-like face, similar to that of the male Rothgars. And with them standing up straight and so on and so forth with that tall stature, it's pretty much going to make them like the second female race that is taller than their male counterpart. And I, for one, am okay with that. All in all, I just can't wait to see what they have in store for us when the female Rothgar gets revealed. Hopefully they'll be able to bring them in soon after the release of Endwalker, but I don't know. That's going to be a little bit of a stretch in some way, shape, or form. It's probably going to happen in 7.0, but we'll just have to cross our fingers on that. But with that, my good friends, that's about everything I got at this point for you in terms of coverage and as far as my thoughts are concerned. Sure enough, there was some stuff on the live letter and all the things that we saw there, but I gotta say that this video is already long enough as it is, and I've already got plenty of other things I need to talk about for another video when it comes to it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. I gotta say that, again, this whole entire deal was just such a wild ride. And for the past couple of days, I've just been left in deep reflection on many of the freaking stuff that has happened during this FanFest. Other than that, we're not even that far off from part 2 for patch 5.5 coming, so there's still more content to be had, and I sure hope you're ready, because I most certainly am. But with that, my good friends, that's about all that I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this little video discussion. There's going to be more to come, along with many more actual reactions for next week on 5.55. And I really got to say, I'm hoping that with many of the things that are going to be happening throughout this year, it's going to make this year fairly quick in some way, shape, or form for that oh so sweet release of that early access Final Fantasy Endwalker. But for now, it's just the waiting game. And honestly, it already still feels long. And I honestly wish that I could just freaking put myself in a cryo chamber, put myself to flippin' sleep, and just wake myself up later. But we still got a lot of shit to freaking get through. So I'm just gonna have to accept this fact and just roll with the punches. Other than that, guys, I shall catch you in the next one. You have a very nice day, nice night, nice morning, nice afternoon, all that good nonsense. And you take care. Peace out.